Welcome, everyone, to the Flower Files podcast sponsored by Wildly Native Flower Farm. Here, everyone is welcome to talk with fellow flower lovers, including real perspectives from the farm, the flowers, and me, the florist.
From the messy day-to-day operations down to the details and even business perspectives, this podcast has a little bit of everything to keep it real. We know that life can get crazy and we don't always have the time to spend on what we love, so we are here to help you take a little time to indulge in nature. I'm Liza Getz.
I'm Lizzie Frey, and we are the team that makes this podcast. Every once in a while, we have a couple guests, this business thing, and what we are working with is called life.
Join us as we walk you through how to think outside the box, talk from the farmer's perspective, have honest conversations about florals, and how to run, well, life. So listen in.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, in the podcast section, and any of your other podcast platforms. You can also find us online at wildlynativeflowerfarm.com, and in an easy way, you can look in the show notes, and all of the information will be right there for easy access for you guys.
Flower friends, welcome back to the Flower Files. I'm Liza, your host and the grower behind Wildly Native Flower Farm. If you are tuning in today, chances are you've sold or are thinking about selling flowers at a farmer's market. Maybe you want to know a couple tips and hints to make your booth the one that draws the biggest crowd and, of course, has the most sales. But let's be honest, farmers markets are lively, competitive, packed with incredible vendors, and not all of the booths get the same attention. Some are buzzing with customers while others struggle to get a second glance. So today, we're diving into how to stand out at the farmers market, attract those customers, and sell more flowers. So I have my farmers market aficionado here with me today. And Renee, will you give us a little bit of an intro?
Hi, I'm Renee. I see you guys every Saturday morning at the farmers market, and super excited to get that rolling again for the new season. So yeah.
Yay! All right, so let's hop into this episode. So I think, and Renee, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think one of the biggest things that we do that sets us apart is having that visually really attractive booth.
Yeah, one of the biggest comments that people make when they come by is how nice it looks. A lot of times people have even said it looks like a store when you come by. There, it looks like a storefront. And the idea is just if they look, sometimes they'll stop. If they stop, then they'll shop. And that's really what you're trying to do. You're trying to grab somebody's attention long enough to get them to stop. Because a lot of times, especially early in the morning, they're busy. Like they've got exactly what their bread, they want their milk, they want their eggs. And the idea is, how can I get somebody to stop from what they are regularly buying every week to be like, I need those flowers, or, oh, you have honey, or, oh, look how pretty these earrings are. I need a birthday gift. So that's really the biggest starting point, is that visual that gets people to stop.
100%. And I think the other thing that we do that sets us apart from many of the other displays there is the fact that you're really good at having different heights and elevating, and also having the booth be really approachable so that I feel like a lot of the times people will do a U shape where they expect customers to come in, but that's like commitment. If you come in, you feel like you have to buy something. Where if you have it out closer for people to just be able to kind of gently walk past, I feel like it's not as intimidating.
No, you're definitely right. Because almost like with a U, you kind of feel like you get trapped. Like, oh my gosh. So I
And if
do
people
like.
are coming in from the other side, like you've come in and now they've come in, and like who gets to
Yeah.
go?
What happens?
How do
They,
traffic?
what's going on? And then there's a cute dog, and everybody wants to pet the dog, and like, what do you do? Yeah, I think I I like having the different heights and elevations, because some products really stand out on their own, and some things need a little extra boost. And it's interesting because with the farmers market, you have a definite direction that people walk in, and you've got some people and they only look to the right, and you've got some people that they're only looking to the left, and you need something that catches their attention. So if your table is all the same length or all the same height, it just kind of blends in. So I love to have our flower display that's on the ground, some lower things. I have the high top table where I can do like the weekly features and things like that. So I find that helps. I like to hang things from the tent on days when the tent is up. And it's funny because when you hang the things on the tent, the people will come. And there's been a couple of times that I've been chit-chatting and turn around. I'm like, oh, hey, how are you? And there's like people behind me. And that's great because they're like, oh, can I just smell the dried flowers? Yes, you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And there's
And I
nothing better than to turn around and like somebody has their nose like in the flowers. They're like, I love these. I'm like, I know, me too.
You're like, perfect, perfect, perfect. And I think that first year that we did farmers market, we really learned a lot about, and I know this is going to sound stupid, but we learned about where to put our branding. Should it be
Mhm.
behind us? Should it be on the table skirt in front of us? Should it be beside and hung where the main traffic flows? Like there's so many little things with the branding, just so people know who we are, how we are, and what we're doing and what our story is. Because there's so many things to look at. It's almost like decision fatigue. I know I need these things, and it's been interesting seeing the early morning shoppers compared to the afternoon, or like not afternoon, but like late morning shoppers.
Oh yeah, your 8 to 9 people. If you can get them to stop and buy flowers, you're doing something because they are there for their food items. Like they're there with their weekly list. Um, but the other thing that's kind of cool is that 8 to 9 o'clock hour, I have my regulars. I have some ladies that every week they're there at 8 o'clock. They pick out their bouquet. I tuck it back for them. They go do their shopping and then they pick it up when they're ready to go home. And that's really cool to see too. Then around 10, 11, the college kids wake up. And they're rolling in with their coffee and their sandwiches and and they're so cool because they will come by and they're not sure at first, but then they're like, oh, my mom needs a gift, and I'm like, I got you. And I can't tell you how many amazing conversations I've had with people that oh, I want to get my mom something different, this is great, and they like our earrings, or they like you know the dried arrangements, or just something different that we've got to offer.
And I think that's what is so cool about the farmers market. Everybody comes with similar items, but the way they're displayed, used, or just even presented really makes everybody so unique.
It really does. And I think one of the things that, and I can't tell you how many times over the last season of the market, people would come up and they were so kind. They're like, well, have you thought about doing this? And they've given me suggestions, or they've been like, I'm looking for this. Can you guys make it for me? We go back and make it for them. They bring 3 other friends and they're like, hey, look, this is the place that did this. So I tell people all the time, if you don't see something that works for you, but you have an idea, tell me. We've got an amazing team behind us at the farm. They can make it. Like they can make whatever it is that you need, especially when it comes to like arrangements or, you know, different color schemes or things like that.
I think that's the biggest word, team.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a
Absolutely.
team. It absolutely does. It really does. So for those of you who don't know Renee and I have always kidded with her because she loves the cold weather, that she is the polar bear and I am the frog, the toad, the lizard, the whatever reptile we would like it to be, because I love the heat. How
I
have
always call
you
you the tree frog. So
Well, some people call me a lizard. Like it's cool. I'm fine with it. Give me all of the sun.
let's try to
But
be nice.
how how do you how do you deal with the heat in the summer? Like we have flowers, they're perishable. What are some of your strategies? What have you learned?
I chase the shade with the flowers. um, I'm good. They're usually good for the first couple of hours, and then I start to like really make sure that they're in the shade. They're always in water. So
Hmm.
our flowers stay in water until the moment you buy them. And then a lot of times I'll wrap them in tissue that's damp to make sure we're looking at some different things for this season to keep them even more fresh. Because I had a couple people that are like, hey, I'm going to New York. And I'm like, time out. And I'm like in my car pulling out paper towels, wetting them, getting them baggy so that they can make the ride and still be as beautiful when they get there. So that's a key thing is keeping everything in the water and the shade. So like when it's cold, sometimes I don't put the tent out because I want the sunshine, but that summer heat, that tent's up. So we're chasing the shade.
100% the whole
Mhm.
time, the whole time. And I think
And it's really hot. I'll share my fan with the flowers, you know.
that makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. Do you think that we will have the same setup this year as compared to last year?
Well, I think less is more. I think we learned a lot this first year. We were so excited to be at the market. We wanted to show everybody everything.
Hmm.
And it was a lot sometimes. People were so kind. They were like, I don't know how you do all this. This is amazing. But it really comes down to, I think, highlighting a couple of really special things. Our flowers are the thing. Like we're a flower farm first and foremost. That is where we will always be. So anything that showcases our flowers. I love our dried. Even if it's not fall or winter, like even in the summer, sometimes, I like to have those out because there are people that are like, that's pretty cool. We're highlighting some really cool things that are coming out a little bit later this year. And
Those
I
are our
can't
secret things that we're
secret
so
thing. I
excited.
cannot wait. And that
Ah!
I know suspense. Dun, dun, dun. They're getting a whole table. I'm just saying that out loud now. So
Excellent. 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 It's been over a year in the making.
yes, it has. And there's so much that's gone into it. So I'm super excited. I'm super proud. But I also think rotating, rotating what we have out there, trying to make it look fresh every week, different. I love it when the girls are like, hey, that looks a lot like last week. Okay, noted. Let me see what I can do. And I love that because it has to stay different. But it's weird too because you have people that like that consistency.
Hmm.
And they
Different, but not too different.
exactly. I want to know where my stuff is. Like I want to know that the flowers are there. I want to know where the honey is. I want to know. So it's a little bit of a balance, but I really think the less is more approach is going to be where we go this year, and I'm super excited for that.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question and you're going to be like, really? But
Girl.
I think one of your personal strengths is how you engage with customers. You are so good at knowing how to talk to people and having that, not just that golden retriever frisky friendly personality of like, hey, good morning, how are you, like that's not who and how you are, but you're really good at engaging with customers without them being overwhelmed. How do you do it?
Okay, first of all, for those of you that don't know, Liza and I have known each other a very long time, and she knows that she just made me very uncomfortable.
Because I called you a golden retriever.
No, I kind of liked that. It was well, thank you for the compliment, but first, it does help to be a morning person. My
Oh, God
children
help us.
don't, yeah, my children don't appreciate that, but it works well at the farmer's market. Um, I just love what I do. I am so proud of the farm. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of our team that I love telling people about it. But I don't think I'm pushy. If I'm pushy, people, please tell me. But I also
You're
don't like,
not.
I don't like to feel uncomfortable myself. So that's kind of a gauge that I use. Like, would I want someone talking to me that much? And I tell them all the time, people will come by and I'm like, I'm looking for this. And I'm like, we don't have that, but so-and-so does, a couple of stands down. And when you do that, it takes people like, oh, okay. And a lot of times those people will come back
Yeah,
because I would love for you to buy our stuff, but I want you to love it as much as we do. And if that's not the case, then it's just not the case for you. And I
right,
want you to have whatever you want.
right.
Um, People are so kind. at the market. I've met so many amazing people. I've run into people that I haven't seen for years, and I get to see them every Saturday, and I love that. So I truly enjoy being there. I love the dogs. The dogs say hi. From 8 to 9, it's the dog parade, and I just, it is a happy place for me. I'm with my flowers. I'm with, the company that I love so much. And I get to interact with people who 9 times out of 10 are really, really happy to be out and about as well.
Yeah.
So it's a very positive environment. And sometimes it's just such a change from maybe our everyday lives that I just really like it. And I want it to be as pleasant for other people as possible too.
So I think the other thing that you're not giving yourself credit for is your ability to have that little small talk that feels and is genuine. You're not going to call out to everybody like, "Hey, I love your shirt. Look at those cool shoes. Where'd you get those earrings?" Like you're not salesy. You're so genuine. And I've seen you comment to people who look like they're sweating to death, be like, "Girl, I feel you. It is hot today, isn't it?" And then turn around and look at somebody else and give them a genuine compliment on whatever. "I really like your scarf," or maybe it is, "Hey, where did you get those boots?" But it's never done in a way that feels slimy. I don't know how else to put it.
Well, I would never be a good used car salesman, I guess, is that the cliche they always use. Um, I've been working retail on some level since I was 14.
Okay.
So I
So
have
you've worked
actually,
it for 10 years, right?
yeah, that's why we're such good friends. Yeah, we'll go with that. Um, so I've kind of seen it done all different ways. I did work at one place where you had to make a quota, like you had to sell a certain amount of stuff, and I hated that because you know what? Not everybody wants to buy a ski jacket. Sorry, they just don't. And
Yeah.
here I am like, no, you need a ski jacket. They're like, no, I
Sorry,
don't.
it's July. You still need it.
It's July, put it on. So I don't know. It's just
It's
it really
natural
is.
for you.
Yeah, it's who I am. Which is funny because I'm a quiet person normally, but if you get me talking about something that I really like or I'm passionate about, as you guys can now find out, I don't shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it. I
yeah.
get it. I get it. And I think the other thing you're good at is you make buying really easy. We learned it was better to have everything labeled
Mhm.
because it's intimidating for folks. You can literally watch their body language. They want to look at something, but they're not sure how much it costs. But if they pick it up or if they ask about it, it's almost like a commitment. So we've learned everything gets a price tag, everything is clearly labeled, everything is marked, but I've seen you be really good about, "Oh, you're going to get that eucalyptus or you're going to pick that out. It would look really great in this if you need that." So you gently consider the upsell without it being, "Oh, you need to do this." So it's natural for you.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't like being told what to do. So
No.
I'm not, I would never be like, "Oh, you absolutely need this." But it's options. If you give people options and also make them feel like it is absolutely okay to tell me no. And so many times I'll be like, "Hey, you can tell me no. This is just a thought." And a lot of times they're like, "Oh, that's great, but I don't need that today." Great, perfect. And I think that's important. Once they share with you that that's not what they need, you need to be so okay with that and not change your tone and not be like, "Oh, fine." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And because it's great. Whatever that person needs, it's a customer service piece.
It is.
And you serve the customer's needs. And if that's not their needs, you don't serve that.
Yep.
And that's really
That
what
makes
that comes
sense.
down to.
That makes sense. And
Mhm.
it's interesting when we first started, it was like, "Oh, cool, we've got some bouquets. We're going to see how they do." And now we have this loyal following
Mhm.
of folks who come to the market who have actually started to call me and be like, "April's coming. Are you going to be there the first weekend or the second weekend? Because we want to be ready."
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because, one week a lady was a little bit late and I was worried about her, and she showed up. I was like, girl, where you been? Like,
Yeah.
it's 9 o'clock. You're here by 8:15. I got scared. And these are the 2 bouquets I put back for you because I didn't want to sell out, because
Yeah.
you do get loyal customers, and you do get people that, and I'll be honest, I love that she buys the bouquets every week, but she asks me about my week every week. Did you have a good week? Yeah, I did. Did you? And like, again, you start to build those relationships, and you know, or it's a really hot day and she'll be like, "Do you have water?" "Yeah, I have water. Thank
Oh,
you." You know what I mean? And it's like it's a genuine connection, and it's a community, and it's just, I know I sound like really gushy right now, but I really love it. Like, the people are amazing. And I've had so many people say that, the Chestertown market is the best in Maryland. It's one of the best on the East Coast.
because
Other vendors say it too.
it's so genuine. And there's the
Mhm.
other thing that I've noticed is, okay, so it's a farmer's market, and you wouldn't think there'd be a lot of politics or squabble, but oh my gosh, some of the other farmers markets that I've been to, visited, around, considered being part of, people are mean.
Yeah.
I don't do mean, I do flower.
I know, right? The meanest thing I want is a bumblebee that I'm like trying to be in their way. Like, I'll back off. This is your flower. But
Yeah, you have at it. You can
yeah,
do
it's all
whatever you
you.
want.
You do what you gotta do. Yeah, I don't do mean either. So, and honestly, that first season, we wanted to see what it was, because we had also talked about if it wasn't a good fit for us, we weren't going to do it.
Right.
And I would be sad if we weren't doing it, because
Yeah.
I think we have a place there. I think we've built relationships, we've built a following, and it's not just selling something. It's also being able to talk to people about who we are and what we do, and and having somebody come back a month later and talk about, hey, you know, we want to have a bridal shower, and this is our thought. Could you help us? Absolutely.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
who would I talk to about maybe booking a wedding? And I can give you a little bit. I'm not the wedding expert, but I'm going to tell you who to call. And they call, they love talking to you guys, and take good care of them. And then they come back and they tell me, it was amazing. Thank you so much.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
welcome.
And
Like, that's why
that's
we're
the part.
here.
That's the
Hmm.
part. Yeah,
Yeah.
for
And
sure.
then they bring in their friends, and like, these are the people that did so-and-so's wedding. And then you end up getting another wedding from it. Or they're like, oh my gosh, I love your flowers. And it just becomes this larger than life thing. And it all starts with just, hey, good morning. How are you?
Hey guys, Lizzie here. I bet you didn't know this about me, but I am gluten free, and one of the things that I struggle with is going to the grocery store and finding the foods that fit my dietary needs. What I have been doing for the past couple of months is ordering from Hungryroot. Now, Hungryroot is an online company where you can order groceries off of their website. It's full of produce, crackers, cookies, to muffins, to meats, and all the different types of snacks and things like that. They have made my life so much easier in the process of finding foods that fit my dietary needs. There are filters that you can adjust, such as non GMO, dairy free, gluten free, paleo, different preferences, and things like that. So, what they have done for us, because they're such a generous company, the Hungry Root team has given us a 40% off discount code on your first box. So, if you use the code FLOWER40, and that's capital FLOWER 40 at checkout, you will get 40% off your first box. I'm so excited to team up with these guys. They've made such an impact on my life in the morning and to my day to day life. And I hope you experience the exact same thing that I do. All of the information will be linked down below, including the link to where it should already be pre applied to your cart when you hit the link and go to their website. And I will also add the code at the bottom for easy access in our show notes. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and enjoy your first box through Hungryroot.
Yeah. 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 That's it. That's it. That is it. Oh my God. That just sums it up. For sure. For sure. For sure. Okay. So I think the other thing that we played with last year that you and I have talked about, and we've all talked about being a little different in, is our social media and how we want to, I don't want to say like capture emails, and great. If you want to be on our email list, no problem. But I feel like what we've worked really hard to put in place this year and make sure that we have it in stories.
Right.
Tomorrow, this is what we're going to have at the farmers market. Sneak peek,
Yeah.
like some of those things to try to help people understand what we have. And then I don't know. I struggle with that sometimes because I never want to be that pushy person. I never want to be in your face. But then other people are like, oh, I wish I had known about this on your social media. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess it's okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that that's been a learning curve for us. But in a good way. So many people come by and they're like, "Oh, I follow you on Instagram," or I saw your Facebook
Yes.
post. And so, shout out first of all to everyone who does our social media on the team because they are amazing. The girls are awesome. I am not a social media person,
Oh my God,
so
they're so good. They're like, we're gonna do this, this, and
I
this.
know.
Like today, I was like, oh my God, it's the first day of spring. I don't care if we post a picture of literally a metal spring. We've got to do something for social media. And everybody was like, we already took all the pictures and we have it set. I'm like, oh, thank you.
I I know, and they're so good, and they're very good to me because they know I'm a little challenged in that area. So that I go and take my like little pictures in the morning and send them, and they make them into magic because I'm just like, hey, here's a picture of a jar of honey, and they're like, no, 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 we're not doing that.
And they're very patient with me because I'm like, look, did you see that I posted? And I know that they almost want to like pat me on the shoulder. They don't, but
Yeah,
they'll be like, "Yeah, we saw that you did it. Next time, let me show you how to do it and add this with it." And I'm like, "Okay." Like I'm totally open to learn because when it says social media, there's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We don't Twitter. Um, there's LinkedIn, there's Threads, there's so many layers and we're finding that each of those has their own audience. I mean,
mhm,
obviously it has their own audience, but for a long time we've been like, oh, we're going to post to socials and it would go to multiple places. But we're finding that it's a totally different client on Facebook and a totally different client on Instagram and totally different on TikTok, totally different on LinkedIn. So, how do you take one post and separate it into multiple posts so that you're posting in all of the places, saying all of the things in the ways that you need to say that? Like, that's what
yeah,
it's like, oh my God.
yeah, and that's I will as not well to be very honest for months. Liza was like, okay, we're gonna put you on the Instagram account so you can post. Oh, okay, okay. I avoided that like the plague because, ladies and gentlemen, you do not want me posting anything. And they figured out quickly, yeah, we don't.
They're like, no, 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 don't post that. Don't
Nope, nope,
post that.
not doing that. You just wrap the flowers. We'll take care of it.
Exactly. You do the customer service. You take care of that. You morning person, polar bear you.
Yeah, I can talk to the people. I can't post for the people. Sorry.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And we had a huge conversation trying to decide, do we have a booth? Do we continue farmers market January, February? My instinct was like, absolutely not. It's cold. And you were like,
And
oh
I,
no, that'd be great. I was like, no, no,
yeah,
no, no, no,
I
no,
really
no.
wanted to. I really did. And then I didn't.
And then you were like, wait, it is cold and it's raining and it's windy and the wind. Oh my God, the
Oh,
wind.
wind.
Oh,
Let's talk about the wind.
yes. Let's.
Nothing will shut us down faster than the wind.
Oh,
I can't tell you how many kind people have chased our items down the street because
yeah.
one good gust of wind and half of our stuff is gone.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's
yeah,
hard because you want to have these beautiful
yeah.
displays. You want to do all of these
Mhm.
things. And it's like, okay, but here's the concrete to hold it in place.
Exactly, exactly. And there's some mornings, there's a lovely young lady that has a booth next to me, and there's some mornings I'll show up and she's like, "You don't have the tent up." I was like, "I ain't chasing it." She's like, "Yeah, me either." She's like, "If you don't have the tent, I don't have the tent."
Yep.
And
Yep.
but it is, and because I do like to hang things on the tent and display them, the wind just is not a good friend. I would
No.
rather do a cold, rainy morning than any kind of wind.
Ugh. Yuck. Nobody likes
I
the
know.
wind.
Except
All
in the
right.
summer, there's a nice little breeze that keeps me cool. So like,
Oh no, breeze is different than wind.
yeah,
Very, very,
absolutely.
very different.
I
Very
just want
different.
Mother Nature to hear that. So it's like July and she's not like, didn't like the wind, did you?
Awesome sauce. Well, Renee, thank you for dialing in with me today. I really appreciate it. And do you have one funny, interesting, or crazy farmers market story?
Oh my gosh. Yes, I actually do. There is something that I kind of need to get off my chest.
Oh God.
So, yep, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. And this is for all of the individuals who have the opportunity to buy flowers for the person that they love. If you are walking past the flowers and your significant other stops, comments that they look beautiful, pauses, and you keep walking, you have messed up.
You're fired.
You're fired. I love when whoever, sometimes it's the gentleman, sometimes it's the partner in the couple, somebody stops, they comment, and that person just walks right over. Which one did you want? Picks them up and buys them. I'm like, you're winning. So if somebody stops to look at the flowers and says they're pretty, they want the flowers. Even if they tell you, no, I don't want the flowers. So that's just a little life lesson, ladies and gentlemen. If you are in any kind of relationship and you would like that relationship to last, buy the flowers.
And that goes back to our first point. Make your booth visually irresistible. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to do a real quick recap. So make your booth visually irresistible. You want to find your unique style. You want your signature bouquets, your story, interactive elements, all of those things to really help you stand out. Renee is our master of engaging with customers in a way that feels natural and not slimy or scary. And you want them to keep coming back. You want to have those repeat customers because it really does feel good to have that each week. So, but now I'd love to hear from you guys. So what is your favorite farmers market strategy, or what is your favorite farmers market story? Share your thoughts with me on Instagram. You can do Instagram, TikTok, newsletter. You could text the shop phone. I love hearing your stories. Tag me in your booth setup photos because I would love to see yours. And I'd love to feature you and say, like, hey, look, this is how they do theirs. And if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you subscribe, leave a review, hit like, share with fellow flower lovers. That's always a mouthful. And until next time, keep growing, keep blooming, and keep making your market booth the one people can't resist.
Hey guys, just dropping a line to tell you about Patreon. So I asked them, meaning Mom and Amber, what is Patreon anyway? Because I honestly had no idea. So we're going to explain it to you from our perspective so that you understand and so that I understand.
Because the first time I saw it, I was like, Patron? We're drinking tequila? Great. So Patreon is for less than a cup of coffee, those fancy coffees that y'all like, a day, you can sign up to become one of our members.
A little family.
Exactly. And what does that get us?
It gets us some freebies, some special episodes that other people do not get access to. You can interact with us on a special platform where we can ask you questions and interact with you. It's tons of fun.
Mm-hmm. And even on those special episodes, we might be less censored than we are already. And we're going to have a couple fun ones that we can just kind of throw in there and talk about and laugh and go on tangents and have fun. So I hope that you all enjoy it because we're going to have fun along the way. We're crazy excited.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Back to the episode now. Bye.
Gracias.